Every year, compliance regulations change thousands of times, and every year ADP makes thousands of seamless platform updates so businesses can focus on everything else, like running their business. Grow stronger with ADP, HR, talent, time, and payroll.
Well, hello everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl BeeSparrow. BTTR 2022 BuzzzTweetTalk Radio. Trying to see if I can't check my sound. For some reason, Spreaker is not allowing me to do that. But I'm going to keep going. But first, let me send out the link to my homegirl from the CUC named Maria. She told me to send her the link, and I forgot. But this is going to be quick, y'all, because I have other things to do. Oh, so let me send this link to my sis from the CUC. It's your girl BeeSparrow, BTTR 2022 BuzzzTweetTalk Radio. I'm trying to get my sound here. Trying to send out the link. Because for some reason, Spreaker won't let me click on the broadcast. But I'm just going to keep going anyway. I'm going to talk about Joe Biden. His plan to ramp up financial enforcement. A part of his plan anyway. And also Mayo Clinic fires 700 workers who failed to comply with COVID vaccine mandates. 700 workers. Mayo Clinic fires 700 workers. Isn't that something? And also, this is a weird, this is a different article. The government releases official images of Wu-Tang Clan's Once Upon a Time in Shaolin album. And I know y'all wondering, how does the government get to sell a Wu-Tang Clan album? We'll find out in a few minutes. As soon as my sound kick in, I don't know what's going on. I mean, as soon as I can hear myself, that'll be awesome. But for some reason, Spreaker is not allowing me to click on the broadcast. This is weird. Strange. Is it because I have Joe Biden's name in the title? I don't know. But anyway, let me go ahead and start reading this article because I want to go ahead and I think I'm going to do another live stream today on YouTube. That's what I want to do. Another live stream today on YouTube. So, according to the Daily Mail, Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, will now have to report transactions totaling more than $600 to the IRS as Biden plans to ramp up financial enforcement. The new reporting requirements will ensure that small businesses that receive payments through those apps are paying their fair share in taxes. Oh my word. Oh my word. Did y'all hear me? The new reporting requirements will ensure that small businesses that receive payments through those apps are paying their fair share in taxes on them. They are about to hit the little people. I wish they was as hard on Donald Trump about his taxes as they are about, just common folk that use the Cash App to survive. People like me that don't work, don't have a job, but rely on the Cash App by means of getting cash. This is interesting to me. Beginning January 1st, 2022, which today is the 7th, so it has already began, third-party payment processors were required to report such transactions. The charges will be included during the 2022 tax season. The payment apps were previously required to send users 1099-K forms if their gross income exceeded $20,000 or had more than 200 transactions per year. Why don't they just leave us alone? This United States of this here America government. Why are you messing with people who is trying to survive during a pandemic? Woo, Lordy. Okay. Continuing on. President Biden's IRS is cracking down on payments made through third-party apps, requiring platforms like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App to report transactions if they exceed $600 in 1 year. The new reporting requirement will ensure that small businesses that receive payments through these apps are paying their fair share in taxes on them. Beginning January 1st, 2022, third-party payment processors will require to report such transactions. Hold on, I really need to check my sound. Since no one is here to check it for me, let me check my sound to see. Oh, okay, it's coming through. Cool. Right. Okay, so like I said before, beginning January 1st, third-party payment processors were required to report such transactions. Though businesses were always required to self-report such incomes to the IRS, many often did not keep records of their smaller transactions. The payment apps were previously required to send users 1099-K forms if their gross income exceeded $20,000 or they had more than 200 transactions per year. The new tax law was part of the March 2021 American Rescue Plan, which passed with no Republican votes. All Democrats. These Democrats is getting into your business. These same people that you ran to the voting polls and did the cha-cha for, they taking away every little piece of freedom that you have. They want to know about every single move that you make. The new rule is only for goods and services transactions, not personal, such as paying a roommate for rent or reimbursing a friend. It also includes anyone selling a personal item at a loss, such as a couch bought for $700 and sold for $650. If this ain't the craziest shit I have heard. Oh. The cash apps will now be required to send the 1099K form to businesses with electronic transactions greater than $600. The new charge or change will apply for the 2022 tax season. For the 2022 tax year, you should consider the amount shown on your 1099K when calculating gross receipts for your income tax return. PayPal warned on its website the IRS will be able to cross-reference both our reports and yours. The new tax rule is separate from a proposed IRS reporting requirement that originally would have handed over transaction data on accounts with more than $600 aggregate inflow and outflow. That proposal, originally part of President Biden's Build Back Better plan, was raised to a $10,000 threshold after much pushback and has not been acted on by Congress. Y'all, is this the United States of America, or is this some communist country that we don't know about? Huh? What is it? What is it? Republicans have said that the proposal amounts to the Biden administration peering into Americans' everyday purchases. Exactly. That is exactly what the Biden administration is doing. They want to know where you spending your money, hunty. These are the people that you voted for. These are the people that you ran to the polls for and did the cha-cha dance for. Now they're trying to get into your business. They're trying very hard to get into your business. Speaking of business, Mayo Clinic fires 700 workers who failed to comply with COVID vaccine mandates. My husband cannot go back to work until he gets tested, because the Capitol is full of germs and people are catching the COVID vaccination, the COVID virus all over the place at the U.S. Capitol. So far, my husband has not had any symptoms, but he's going to get tested. I'm going to get tested on Wednesday. The Mayo Clinic fired roughly 700 employees who failed to comply with the non-profit medical center's mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policy. Workers at the Mayo Clinic had been given until Monday to get their first dose of a vaccine or obtain a medical or religious exemption to the rule. They were also expected not to delay on receiving a second dose if they had already gotten the first jab. Hundreds of employees failed to meet those requirements and were let go, the Mayo Clinic said in a statement shared by or with NBC News on Wednesday. Nearly 99% of employees across all Mayo Clinic locations complied with Mayo's required COVID-19 vaccination program by the January 3rd deadline, the clinic said of its staff, which consists of around 73,000 workers. The Mayo Clinic said approximately 1% of its staff, or around 700 people, will be released from employment. Approximately. I've never had a problem pronouncing that word. Approximately. Anyway, the clinic added that the majority of medical and religious exemptions requests made by workers were granted. While Mayo Clinic is saddened to lose valuable employees, we need to take all steps necessary to keep our patients, workforce, visitors, and communities safe, the clinic said. Or a spokesperson for the clinic said, because y'all know the clinic can't talk, okay? However, it said fired employees could have the chance to return to the medical center if they choose to comply with its vaccine mandates. If individuals released from employment choose to get vaccinated at a later date, the opportunity exists for them to apply and return to Mayo Clinic for future job openings. The Mayo Clinic has faced some backlash over its policy, with 38 lawmakers signing a letter to the hospital last month asking it to axe the rule. All praises to the Most High Yah. I pray that the Most High Yah protect his people. He said he would. Those who follow his laws and commandments, or at least attempt to follow his laws and commandments and acknowledge or commemorate his feast days, I believe he protects. I would like to think he protects me. I try my best, Lord. I don't know if trying my best is good enough, but I'm trying to follow his laws and commandments to the best of my ability. I want to learn more on how to honor his feast days or commemorate. We don't really know how. We don't really know when these dates or these feast days are supposed to take place. You know, people just round it off to the best date that they possibly can, according to scripture. But these clinics, soon they will not be able to take care of no one. So we have to pray to God, to the Most High Yah, to help us to maintain our health in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. We need to learn how to maintain our health. I'm hearing now that turkey and chicken, even turkeys and chickens, are unclean foods because they are part of the vulture family, and vultures are an unclean animal. So it's a lot. I don't know what to think anymore, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep praising the Most High Yah. I'm going to accept my judgment because I know that I have been judged. I'm being judged for things that I have done that's not cool in the sight of the Most High Yah and his son Yahshua HaMashiach. I've done some things. I ask the Lord to forgive me for those things from my heart. And I ask him for a hedge of protection around my family, my CUC family, and my friends. Hallelujah, all praises to the Most High. These clinics might have to shut down. We may not have anyone to serve us when we get sick. So y'all please rack up on all the medicines that you can in these trying times. In these trying times. The government wants to monitor your spending. They can't even monitor their own spending, but they want to monitor yours. Wow. And speaking of government, the government releases official images of Wu-Tang Clan's Once Upon a Time in Shaolin album. How did the government get to release official images of Wu-Tang Clan's Once Upon a Time Shaolin album? The salt of the earth we are. The salt of the earth we are. Wu-Tang Clan's album Once Upon a Time in Shaolin was sold last July by the United States of this here America's government. The price it sold for has not been made public, y'all. The U.S. government has shared new images of Wu-Tang Clan's one of the album Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. Wu-Tang Clan's one of one album. Okay, whatever that means. You may remember back in 2015, the album, which only was created as a single copy released, was initially sold to pharmaceutical executive Martin Shkreli for $2 million. Shkreli was convicted of securities fraud, and I know I'm probably jacking up his name, but that's what it looked like to me. Shkreli. S-H-K-R-E-L-I. Shkreli. Whatever. Anyway, he was convicted of securities fraud. He was then ordered to hand over $7.36 million in assets. The album was included in the assets that was seized by the United States Marshal, according to BuzzFeed. By the way, this article is taken from okplayer.com. So, I don't know how true this is. okplayer.com. All right now. Listen, I don't know how true it is, but this article says the timeline then notes that in July of 2021, the Justice Department announced an anonymous buyer had been found. A price wasn't identified. According to the New York Times, attorney Peter Schoolidge, a representative of the crypto collective Pleaser DAO, said the buyers paid the U.S. $4 million. The new buyers are able to display the album in its original box featuring the group's embedded logo. No copies of the album are to be made. The buyers must abide by the same terms Skrilla or Screech, whatever his name is, previously agreed to in his purchase agreement. Y'all, is this newsworthy? Is this news? 54 new images of the album show that it's held inside a nickel silver box stored in a cedarwood box and covered in black cow leather with light beige velvet lining. Y'all, let me catch my breath, please, because of additionally, it includes a 175-page leather-bound lyric book, images of the 2 CDs, titles of the 20 songs, and the lyric book have been redacted by the government. The images and bill of sale were obtained through a Freedom of Information lawsuit. Wu-Tang Clan said one copy of the album was created as a form of protest of the way music had been devalued in the digital era. 2 months ago, in an interview, RZA declared he regretted selling the album to Shkreli. He added he believed it was in the wrong hands once it was sold to him. Following the Pleaser DAO purchase, he shared he's optimistic about what's to come. Take a look at the images, y'all. Y'all can't take a look at the images because, hey, shalom, sis. Y'all can't take a look at the images because I'm on Spreaker. And that was my last story, y'all. But don't worry. I'm going to upload this to YouTube so y'all get to see what we talked about over here. We talked about Joe Biden and him. Joe Biden is getting ready to tax the cash apps, y'all. If you receive over $600 on your cash apps, you have to report it to the IRS. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Vino, however you say it. I never heard of that one. Venmo. If you receive over $600 to your Cash App, to your PayPal account, or to your Venmo account, you have to report it to the IRS. We also talked about Mayo Clinic firing 700 employers, 700 workers who failed to comply with COVID vaccine mandates. And we also talked about the governments who sold Wu-Tang Clan's Once Upon a Time in Shaolin album. They only made one copy of the album to protest the music industry, the digital music industry. It fell into the hands of the wrong person. He was convicted of securities fraud. He was ordered to hand over $7.36 million in assets, and that Wu-Tang album was one. I'm telling y'all, we are the salt of the earth. Y'all cannot tell me. We are the salt of the earth, the children of the diaspora who was dispersed to the four corners of the earth. It's your girl, BeeSparrow. BTTR, BuzzzTweetTalk Radio 2022. Holla if you hear me. Okay.